Okay, Jester Metalworks actually inspired me to do this video. This is going to be a loadout of my Veto MCT. I'm an industrial maintenance technician at a feed mill, so we have a lot of conveyors, a lot of 480 volt motors, chain conveyors, screw augers, 8-inch spouting and 10-inch spouting, sort of like a mini grain elevator with a lot more conveyors and whatnot. So I'm going to take you guys through my conveyor fixing slash equipment failure bag. So if I got to go up 80 feet in the air to diagnose a problem, this is the bag I'll grab. Got a Milwaukee rechargeable headlamp. This is a 3-foot endless strap. Got a extra lock in case there is a disconnect close by a piece of equipment way up in the air. I do have a extra lock with me, and I can lock that piece of equipment out at the piece of equipment. And then I've just got some paint markers and Sharpies on the side. And I usually have a tape measure clip to the side, but it's on a different bag right now. I've got the key for my lock in there, and then I think I've just got some wire nuts. These little pockets aren't very useful unless you need to, throw an extra bit in there or whatever. They're kind of hard to get stuff out of, but they're there, so I use them. Main pocket here. Oh, maybe I'll get some light. One sec. It's almost too much. Hold on. Okay, that's a little better. So this is sort of the main pocket here. Got a 15/16 wrench for motor jack bolts. And I've got the Milwaukee stubby impact with the 2.5 amp hour high output battery. These things are pretty gutless with the 2 amp hour and with the 1.5 amp hour batteries, but you put a 2.5 high output on there and they, ooh, that sounded kind of bad. And they really wake up. And I do like the smaller profile of these smaller batteries a lot, and it fits in the bag much nicer, so that's what I generally run on this thing. I've got a little Husky diamond tip flat blade screwdriver for cleaning gunk out of keyways. And that just sits in this little tiny pocket right here. I've got a Milwaukee 12-inch adjustable wrench. This thing is advertised as a wrench that won't lose its adjustment when you're using it, and actually that feature works fairly well. I was pretty impressed. I bought the 6-inch and 10-inch set with the gift card I was given, and I like those wrenches so much that I bought the 12 and a 15. Got a pair of 10-inch Knipex Cobras. These little Klein needle nose, these are the 7-inch variety, are pretty handy for master links on chains or just digging stuff off of shafts if string gets wrapped around shafts or whatever. These are pretty handy. And I've got some needle nose vice grips from Milwaukee. I do like the Milwaukee locking pliers just because you can stick a alignment punch in the back or a screwdriver in the back and get a little extra torque on them. And I've got the Malco bits, the longer variety, the 2 different sizes there. And I've got T25 in a 1/4-inch bit driver and Phillips. Got this bit rail from Aries with a 7/16 1/2-inch, 9/16 and 3/4-inch socket on there, and then I've got this adapter from Milwaukee, which is 3/8 input and 1/4-inch hex, so I can use these driver bits in the big impact here. I usually just use these for taking hose clamps off or taking a couple wood screws out real quick. If I'm doing a bunch of driving, I'm gonna go grab a 1/4-inch impact driver, but I also use that adapter for driving, where is it? For driving this little Harbor Freight Unibit, just for punching a quick hole or two. It comes in handy enough to keep it in the bag. Doesn't weigh much, so got a small wrench selection. It's 7/16, half inch, 9/16, and 3/4. Full size Milwaukee vice grip. These are the 10-inch. I've actually torqued these down so much that it stretched the jaws apart a little bit, and I actually had to, or maybe it stretched the screw or something, but they still work fine. So these, you can actually put a crazy amount of torque on the adjustment on the back there, and they'll keep bucking. Got a Titan construction wrench. It's just nice to have an extra alignment punch if I'm putting some covers back on or whatever. Sometimes you need as many as you can get. So, and then I just have the ratchet for driving these sockets in case I need to get into a tight spot. These are the Knipex 95, 61, 190s. These are rated for cutting up to just over 3/16" wire rope. We have some manual pulleys and stuff that a guy would operate at grade or at the ground level, and they're running stuff like 80 or 120 feet up in the air through a series of pulleys that go throughout the mill. So if I'm working on those wire ropes, it's nice to have a nice pair of cutters. These Bondus Allen keys are not much more expensive than the Equines, but if you guys are in the market, I'd highly recommend you spend an extra $5 or whatever for the set of the Bondus. For me, in my experience, they just fit a lot nicer. They're way less likely to strip out, especially on the smaller ones. It seems like the tolerances are much tighter in most of the socket head cap screws. So I do like these quite a bit. And at the top, got some Loctite 248. This is just a Loctite glue stick, medium strength, removable. That way it doesn't spill in the bag. So that's the main tool pouch. Now on the other outside section, I've got a Egodyne knee pad. We have a lot of grading and catwalk grading, and it's horrendous on a guy's knees, so just keep this with me in case I got to kneel down on some grading for a while. Got a Klein 11-in-1 screwdriver, nylon brush, and then this is from Wheeler. Nice little stainless steel brush, much nicer than the Harbor Freight ones, and they actually last a lot longer too. And I've got some Scotch Super 33 electrical tape, as well as some Blue Monster pipe tape. On the back side of the bag, got some extra wire nuts in there, and I think this pocket's pretty much empty. I might have some like earplugs or lens wipes in there. This is a Wildy 16-inch Jimmy bar. And then in this pocket, I've got just a putty knife for scraping crud off of stuff. I've got a Wilton 3-pound. This is a great size hammer for most things. Nice for driving punches or moving stuff around, and it's small enough that it fits in the bag. And this is, I think, only about a 14-inch handle on this thing. Maybe it's a 12. It's a nice size. Got some extra large Knipex cutters. This is a roll pin punch set, a nice stubby punch set. I like the stubby ones because most of the things that I need to punch roll pins out of are not very long. Usually like chain conveyor sections or chain conveyor splices. So these shorter punches are less likely to bend and a little bit more user friendly for my application. I've also got a little file for cleaning up keyways, a couple taper punches, and a cold chisel, some more taper punches in there. I've got some copper anti-seize for working on steam lines. Should probably actually put this in another bag. It's not super useful in this bag. And then I've got a Jet half-ton chain come along, which is super handy for suspending spouting if I need to take some apart or lifting small gearboxes up onto a work platform. This thing is sort of my my best friend if we have any plugs or I need to go troubleshoot something up in the top of the mill. So the thing I don't like about these chain come-alongs is the neutral will start getting really sticky if you don't keep these clean. They get full of dust, and I just spray them out with compressed air and then lubricate them every couple times I use them, and they work really well that way, as you can see. No problems there. But if they get dirty or aren't lubricated, they do have a tendency to sort of bind up all the time, and then you're cussing at the thing and whatever. But that's basically my my troubleshoot or go fix something quick bag. Or if I need to rebuild a conveyor, stick new chain in a conveyor, this is the main bag I'll be working out of for that sort of a project. It is pretty heavy, so I do keep the shoulder strap on it. But overall, I've been pretty happy with it. I've only had this thing for about a year, and I've overstuffed it, and the zippers still work fine. Again, it's just a pretty good bag. It's a little expensive, but it's hard to beat the level of organization and convenience, as well as the durability that you get with the Veto bag compared to anything else. Another thing I might mention is I do like the enclosed bags a little bit more for climbing up ladders, up through ladder cages. Our man lift here is pretty small, and you can't really even get into the thing with the 5-gallon bucket at the same time, so these compact bags are sort of my best friend here. I'm going through some more of my bags. I got some more Veto bags, so you can check those videos out for these loadouts on my channel. Thanks.